This is Fred Beck from Fred Was Fighting. I'm joined over Zoom all the way from America. I'm joined by Fangs. How's it going? How are you?
It is good. I just went through a long day of Easter, so you actually might be more tired than me. What time is it there?
It's about 12:30.
Oh, yeah. Well, it is 6:30 here and I feel like it's like midnight. So I'm right there, but I'm doing good.
And you got kids, so Easter's probably more of a proper day then, isn't it?
Oh, it's a whole like we were up at 6:30 and we've Easter hunted like three times, so it's a whole thing. Yeah.
Well, three times, not just once.
No, because we do it at our house, and then we have like one family, and then of course there's like another family because we go to both sides of the family, so it's a lot.
Blimey, okay. That does sound like quite a bit of work. Um, how you been apart from family and I guess the YouTube stuff and all the social media stuff? How's training been treating you?
Training has been good. It has been really, really hard. We've been doing a lot of 2 days, which is where the towards the end is when we get more into that. And so that's super tiring, but I'm now getting to the point where my body's used to it. And so I can just push it like as hard as I can and it's not bad. So it's nicer. Like a couple weeks ago, I was like, I don't want to do it anymore. And then I'm like here where I'm like, oh wait, I'm ready. Okay. Like my body will do everything and not want to like be sore and die. So it's been going good.
This is your first, I guess you trained last time but for the Texas fight, but they got called off. So technically it's a second camp. Does it help you at all the fact you've gone through this whole procedure before?
It does because I kind of like I remembered how it felt like going from the beginning and working your way through and how you had to mentally like put yourself into it. But it also kind of worries me because I like fully put myself into it and then I got there and like the 2 days before it didn't happen. So that like made me like you're just like all the way up here and all of a sudden you just because you've done all this buildup and then you have nothing to release it with. So I that worries me. But no, I knew exactly like what I was going to be doing since the last camp, but this one's been harder because now he expects more because like I was way newer than as to where now
Mm.
he's had me for 8 months or whatever, and so he's like we're gonna do harder. Like I expect a lot more out of you, so I've had to do a lot more than last time.
Certainly, I guess, yeah. Now you haven't really got the excuse of saying, "Oh, it's my first time. I want to see how it goes." Now you know what to expect. So I guess it's a good thing and also a bad thing. But sparring is an essential key to the training. How you've been finding that?
It's been really good this time around. It was a lot different in the first camp because I had never like it was my first times ever sparring. And where I am, we don't have a lot of females to spar, so I spar a lot of men. And so like first times getting hit in the face and all that kind of stuff. And some of them know, and like they're gonna hit me as hard as they can because they're like big guys. But other ones just didn't think about it and did, and so it was like a little bit scary. But this time we've found a lot more girls for me to spar against. And so I feel like it's been better and it's made me more like I've realized how they move and what they do because I just feel like guys and girls box completely different. Like it looks completely different to me. So I've enjoyed it a lot more this time around and I've gotten more into it. I'm not so scared. When you first start doing it, you're like turning your head and you're a little twitchy. And now I'm like, I'm in it. Like I like don't feel worried to do anything and I get more confident, I guess.
Okay,
This time around. Yeah.
okay, that's a good thing then. Yeah, I guess you had two whole camps of sparring. Just touching on the last fight or the fight that didn't happen. What exactly went wrong there, Barbie, and why didn't that fight take place?
Well, she says that she got like I think her boyfriend he's like an artist there in Australia. So she came on like an artist as girlfriend's visa and not like a work visa, like a proper work visa. In the United States, I think they're really strict about that. So when she got here, they like interrogated them for like hours, and then they told her like, no, you don't have the right visa, and you can't reapply for it while you're here. So if you fight, we'll deport you, and you can't come back to the United States ever. But she knew that like a week before, and she told us at the media workout. So that's what made it really hard because then I couldn't get a backup opponent. Like we had people that we could possibly fly in, but you have to like license them really quickly. And I think we had 48 hours and we needed 72. So that was frustrating because I'm like, why didn't you just tell us? Like this could have been so much easier. But now she like let the buildup happen and let a little bit of the clout come out of it and then was like, oops, nope, it's not happening. So that was like very frustrating. Even though I met her and we like we got along. I was still like mad at the fact that how do you not get a work visa? Like I don't understand. I've never had that problem, but we don't usually have to get visas when we go places. Not that I've been to at least.
Do you think that was why she didn't do it? Because she wanted the exposure from the event?
I don't know. I mean, she did get to go to the media workout and then she declared it right after the media workout. So yeah, she did get to be on like the very first thing. And I guess she could have went all the way through press conference and everything else, but I think they were really trying to, they had a lawyer, so they were trying to somehow get around it. And maybe that's why they held off. I don't know, but whatever it was stupid.
I'll see her next week at the Kingpyn tournament, so I'll be able to ask her then. Um,
Yeah.
that Kingpyn tournament though, they got the women's one, they got the men's one. How do you think the women's one will go down?
I'm very interested in that one. I don't think it's very fair, honestly, because I'm pretty sure there's like a big weight difference. And if I think you have to be like 140 was the most you could have weighed, but I don't know what the less is. So it gives you this whole range of like someone Barbie size and someone Elle Brooks size. And Elle Brooks a really tough girl, but when you have that much length and distance, I feel like that's just not fair. I mean, I could be completely proven wrong, and I guess we're gonna find out. But when I'm looking at like 6 foot and 5'1" or whatever, I'm like, how on earth will you ever get inside on that unless you're just super fast? I think that it's gonna be very like lopsided in a lot of the matches. But I still feel like Elle Brooke is like a little like pit bull, so I think that she's gonna do well. Like she's probably my picked person to win it. Um, I know a lot of people think Barbie might, but I watched her in person. I mean, this is her second time around, so she might not be as nervous. But whenever I was there, she was nervous and like she was like missing some of her stuff, and her coach was slapping her pads to make it sound louder. And I was like, she didn't scare me. So I don't think she's gonna be that scary for them either.
So you think Elle's the favorite to win that then?
Oh yeah, she just got too much more experience, and she's strong, and she's got a good training camp. She's told me about like who she because in her area she's got a lot of girls that she can train with, and then she lives with that like blonde bomber or whatever. So I think she's fierce. She's got the fight in her. I think she'll do it. I
That's
didn't want to be in it. They told me I did weigh 140 pounds, and I was like, nah. Maybe in like a year I'll weigh 140 pounds, but I already lost like 25 pounds. So I'm like, I'm not going even more. Not doing it.
so from the public's perception and the media's perception, everyone's kind of picking Barbie and Elle to be in the final. So you think Barbie's a lot bigger than her, so she could bully Elle. Then Elle's probably a bit more technical, and Barbie might be.
Yeah, I think so. I think Elle, she will try to bully her, I'm for sure, but I think Elle's more technical. I think she can hit harder than a lot of people imagine. Like Faith Ordway, maybe she didn't have a chin at all, but the way that she was like turning her head and stuff like that, even though she's that little body, she's just so stout. I just feel like her punches are gonna hurt more than Barbie's are. And I know Barbie has those like big muscles, but I don't think she knows how to throw them correctly like Elle Brooke does. So I know that'll be there. I mean, she's already fighting. Elle's fighting another tall girl. I don't know how tall that Danielka girl is. So she's already fighting her. So we'll see how she does against someone that tall at that point. But yeah, I feel like they would be in the final. And I still would say that Elle Brooke would probably win.
Do you think that Faith Ordway will box again?
No, I don't think she will. I saw some kind of interview where she said something about like her trainer like came on to her or something like that, and it turned her off from the sport, which for me seems kind of like a cop out. I feel like maybe you got like hit and you got beat by someone that you really thought you were going to beat. You trained like a year to fight, and then it was embarrassing. And I think that's why she's not really as interested because she doesn't want to get embarrassed that way again. But maybe that stuff really does turn her off from it. I don't know what it is, but I just don't see her. She said she probably wouldn't. I mean, maybe she will, but I don't see her coming back. I'd like to
Yeah,
fight her if she does.
that's the one for you.
Yeah, I mean, she was supposed to be my first fight, and she 5 weeks before said that she didn't want to do it because she wanted more money. So that I had another one. I was going to be on the 002, and that was going to be me versus Faith.
Oh,
So
in Sheffield. Oh, all the way
mhm.
back. Blimey, back
Well, it was
from
supposed to be
October.
Florida, and then it got pushed. It got moved to Sheffield. So
I remember that now. Yeah, yeah. They had Hasim Rockman as a main event. And they changed it. Jay Swingler. Oh, well, blimey. Yeah, that seems like so long ago, that card, when it really was only in October.
yeah.
A few more things before I do let you go. Justaminx as an opponent. What do you
Mhm.
make of her as a fighter?
I think she's scary in the fact that I don't get to see a whole lot of her footage. I did see how she fought in Creator Clash, but I don't think she was like not really trained there, and I don't think she was taking it super seriously, like she was dancing around and stuff. But she's a big girl and she looks like she can hit hard. I just think that she took an approach of where she didn't train or take it seriously until like sorry, my voice, she didn't take it seriously until like 5 weeks before. And so I think that's going to really hurt her in the hindrance of that. Cause even if she's still like doing, twice a day and trying to get her cardio up, I've had all this time ahead of her where I have, had more time to do my cardio and all this other stuff. So I feel like I can, as long as I've watched her from what it looks like she jabs like a ton. She's going to try to do this really forceful jab. And if I can dance around and tire her out, I think that's going to be very easy to do. I don't think she's going to be able to hold in there and just throw those like wild punches and not get tired. And I have been working like crazy on my cardio, but you never know until you get in there. Like when I spar, I feel great about it, but I might get in there and like freak out and adrenaline might go and I might start doing it too. Cause you don't know until the moment. And I've never had the experience yet, but I feel like she's going to be a good opponent. I don't think it's going to be like where I just go out and wash her out like Elle Brooke did for Faith Ordway, but I think I'm going to win. And I really think if I get her in the right situation, I'm going to knock her out. So we'll just have to see. Like I'll fill her out a lot in the first round and see where I can position her to get her where I want her to be. Pretty much.
She fought before on the last Creator Clash, didn't she?
Yeah, she did against like a yodeling Haley.
So I guess she's got more experience in the ring. Obviously done 2 camps, but in the ring you can't make up for it. What did you make about her fight in the Creator Clash? What did you think of it?
It was all right. Like it was, you could see that I don't know how hard yodeling Haley punched, but they had 14-ounce gloves on. So you could see she could take a punch and it like made her like get into it and she just kept swinging and throwing punches. But it was very like it was ugly. They were throwing windmills the whole time, but it was entertaining at least. Where we have 10-ounce gloves. So that's gonna hurt a lot more when you're getting hit by Fangs and 10-ounce gloves and yodeling Haley and 14-ounce gloves. But I thought it was entertaining for me. I just didn't think it was like the greatest match. Everyone says is like this super good, but I think it's just because the whole time they were just like doing that. So there was no technique. Oh,
We'll see. We'll see. Hopefully she might have improved. I'm sure it'll be a good fight. Just a few more things before I let you go. Your weight for this fight, remind me again, what's the weight class you're fighting at for this one?
150.
150. So that's quite a lot heavier than Ashley Wet, isn't it?
Yeah, I think she came up to like 122 at some point or something like that. But in her last fight, she was like 112 or something. So yeah, we are like night and day difference when it comes to weight. Because I've thought about it. I asked her, and I almost sparred her actually because I was in England for JJ's last one. I don't remember what number that was, 004. But I just don't think that I would ever come down to what she would want me to come down to. And I don't think she's going to come up to be, if they let us do it like at a 10-pound difference, maybe, but I don't ever see me fighting Astrid Wed probably.
Normally for Misfit standards, you have to fight twice and the second fight can be a title fight. You position yourself and you're hoping that the next time you fight on Misfits, finally you win this Saturday or next Saturday. But I don't know when it's going to come out, but it will be this like weekend when it comes out. You position yourself to get the win and then fight for a title after in a weight class a little bit higher.
Yeah, no, that's what I definitely want. I was hoping that because they haven't really had our weight class a ton, so I was hoping that they would just like have one for this one. Because the very first fight I was ever going to do with Faith, that was just going to be a title fight. But I guess now you have to fight first and then do it. So yeah, I'm hoping that the next one will be, and we can like have one in this area or realm of weight class and not so much like the little, I know they have like the little 115 petite girls, but for the big girls class, I want a title belt. Yes.
I guess I look pretty good. Next time I talk to you, you can have you need to like a little kind of, my background's pretty rubbish, but a little background and have a little.
Yeah, I've got a chair back here. Have my belt or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Keep it clean somehow. But thanks. I do appreciate you coming on. It's good to catch up with you. I think the last time I interviewed you I checked my phone before this. It was all the way back in November in Texas, so it was quite a long time. But hopefully, I won't be coming over for the Creator Clash. It's the first Misfits event I'm gonna miss just because the Kingpyn's going on and it's in the same country. But I'm sure I'll see you soon. But thank you for your time. I do appreciate it.
Oh yeah, thank you.